Hey everybody, welcome to the Ronline Report. Today's guest, one of the best up-and-coming new bodybuilders in the open men's bodybuilding. Please welcome Brett the Butcher Wilkin. What's up, Brett?
What's going on? How are you, Ron?
Doing good, doing well. So we haven't talked since the Arnold.
No, it's been busy, man. It's been How many weeks ago was that? 3, 4 today? 4
Feels like months ago, but it wasn't, was it?
I know.
So March 12th was the Boston Pro, so it was like the 4th, the 3rd, the 4th. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. But
has happened, yeah.
Yeah. So let's start there. It's like I think the last time I talked to you was like a week or 10 days out from the Arnold. So first of all, I thought you looked fantastic, the Arnold. I thought you'd made serious improvements since Chicago Pro, and you came in, condition was just as good. Were you happy? Was Matt happy with the look that you brought to the Arnold?
No, I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm not going to shoot. I don't think conditioning was as good, and that's just being honest. And that's, and I'm not putting that's fault on me. We were playing, and just to be completely honest, I haven't gone too much into detail, but we were playing like a size game. We had a number in our head, and looking back at it and just coming from the veterans have been there before, like don't play that game, but with those guys, with Samson up there, with Steve Kuklo, obviously Brandon's maybe a little lighter, but he looks bigger. Those guys are big dudes, so we needed to compare with them. So like in our minds we had this number, like it was 250, so we wanted to be 250 on stage, and we were on, and it was solid conditioning, but it wasn't what for me. What made me stand out in that first show was my conditioning. That's when, the Butcher got its name, as you would say. I had that coming out party. It was because I had crisp conditioning, and it was, I was new to the scene. And when you do that, and this as well, is like, once you set that standard, you have to live up to it. And I don't think my conditioning was as good as it was last year in Chicago. And that's because we were solely trying to play a more of a size game. But it was more so we thought that we put on about 10 pounds of muscle, and in reality, it was more like 4 to 5, which, hey, that's still in a 7-month time period with a 3-month off season. That's still really, really good.
It's fantastic.
It's just, it wasn't as much as we thought. And, and that's from me just looking at pictures, examining everything. So it just comes down to, we should have went a little bit more sided on the side of conditioning rather than the size. And I think it would have made me even just look as big, because we definitely put on muscle, especially, upper body, chest, shoulders area, arms. And that was kind of a focus, and that did it. But our conditioning wasn't as sharp as it needed to be, especially going against these top guys in the world, So, we lived and learned. That was my second open show. So that's how you get experience. And honestly, man, I'm chomping at the bit to do it again, even though I can't quite compete yet. We'll go into this in a little bit of all the things coming up, but I guarantee that next time on stage, I'm just solely, I'm making the improvements now in these months ahead of putting on new tissue, especially on the quad sweeps, everything there, a little bit more on the legs, that when I come down next time, that there's no numbers. I'm not looking at the scale. I'm just like, I need to get as conditioned as I can be and show off this new muscle. And then that's my sole focus, because I know what I'm capable of. And I want to show that, and then continue to get better as I have.
Okay. With all due respect to the guys who beat you at that show, had you brought the condition that you had at Chicago Pro with 5 more pounds of muscle, where do you think you possibly could have placed rather than 6th?
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's hard to say, man. That's really hard to say. I think I could have definitely been a few spots up. I'm not saying, I don't think, just examining and seeing it firsthand, I'm not on the William Bonac, the Brandon Curry level yet.
Right.
I'm a realist, so I think, I could have, at least sneaked up a couple of spots, or at least been in that contention. But in reality, it was just a good weekend. Not only from the learning experience I got from it, but just the fan base that was there is an awesome turnout. My Meet the Athletes line was awesome. Met a lot of great fans, great people. And it's more so just, I just need, I've been doing this for 4 years, Ron. I just need a little bit more time, and, and I'm excited for what's ahead, and I know exactly what we need to do. And I'm setting myself up now, to be able to make the most out of the least time here ahead.
Yeah. So, remind everyone what you weighed when you turned pro.
So I think I was like 194 when I turned pro, and that was 2018 Junior Nationals. And then, yeah, fast forward to the 2022 Arnold, less than 4 years.
Less than 4 years.
Yeah, we were 250 on stage. Yeah.
I'm pretty bad at math, but that sounds like 55 pounds to me.
Right around there.
God, I mean, I don't know too many pros who have gone from turning pro to making that type of improvement. Off the top of my head, maybe Kai Green is one, Ronnie Coleman would be another, but there's not many. So you're in rare company. One thing, I don't know how upset you were, but anytime someone who great things are expected of doesn't perform as people have maybe predicted or anticipated, you hear he was all hype. I've heard that about 200, 400 different guys over the years. And it's because the fans can turn on you like that. You can be their favorite. They're gung-ho rooting for you. And if you don't perform, you don't place as high as they were hoping, sometimes they can turn on you. I know you gained a lot of new fans, but did you also kind of see who the fickle fans were when that happened?
Yeah, I mean, that definitely exposes you, who are just there off of, off of the swing of things or what was cool at the time. But, like I said, I'm very fortunate. I have a very, very good fan base. 99% things are positive. I'm just getting into there's some haters out there and stuff, I guess, for some reasons, or they want to, expose that. But it wasn't like I was coming out saying I'm going to swipe the floor and things like that. I will never do that because I'm going to let the physique, speak for itself. And, the cards didn't fall that right. Like I said, it was just, we didn't peak right. And I wasn't my best. And, I just need to live and learn, it's early in my career and I'm going to do that moving forward. So it's just, overall, it was very productive in that, building that fan base, have these people behind me and knowing what I can do moving forward. So, I mean, you got a glimpse of what can be, and I'm just going to keep, improving. So I know how to handle these things next time and, peak right. And then, get used to those weekends. Like I said, just the experience of the Arnold and being in that big that size of a caliber of a show, that production, that nervousness. And now I got it, that anxiousness. So now I know what to expect and it's just going to be on my side now.
Yeah. I think part of it was because your update shots leading into the show, especially the last 3 weeks, they were going viral. People were reposting, sharing like crazy. You looked phenomenal. You were just full, shredded. It was crazy. So, I think the social media is changing things where there are more expectations put on people now before there might have been years ago. And it's no fault of yours. You never, we talked many times. I saw you on other shows. You never made any predictions, stayed humble, never said I'm going to crush all these guys and all that. But, this was a crazy level of competition. And, just for you to even jump in there so quick, so early in your career as an open bodybuilder, that's a testament, because a lot of guys would have ducked that show. I don't want to compete against Mr. Olympia. I don't want to compete against a 2-time Arnold. That's too hard. Kuklo, these guys have been at this forever. So, kudos to you for jumping right into the deep end, I should say.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah. And like I said, and it'll just, and I'm still glad I did, and now I know what to expect. Now I know what I see what that's around me, in front of me. And I'm telling you, I'm more motivated now than ever. And that's why, I'm setting these things up in the future to be able to, compete with those guys and be in that top spot, down the road.
Yeah. So I was a little upset that you did not come to Boston right here 1 week later. It was a fantastic production. You would have done well. And, why didn't you come to Boston, Brett?
Just because, after reevaluating that weekend, I just know, like I said, what I said earlier is I just know I need some more work before I'm in that, top two, especially with those guys that, they just beat me, especially with, Bonac. Sorry, my dog just came out. Bonac. Hi, Bubba. Say hi. Oh, he just got a bath. Get out of here. But he I knew he was going to be on. He really wanted that. I honestly thought, he might have took the Arnold in my opinion, but a
lot of people.
It was close, man. It was close. And, so it was just, I just want to make sure that I'm kind of undeniable next time I hit the stage. And I see that. And I want to, fix things and make things right, and make sure I set myself up in the next opportunity. But that was a sweet show. Production was awesome. Giving out the truck and everything. All those legends were there. So I kind of missed out on that, man. So you could hang out with, Phil, Ronnie, Jay, everybody across the board. So they did an awesome job. It was a good show. Those guys looked awesome. I was happy to see it.
Well, hopefully next year you'll be here.
Yeah.
I think it was a success. It's going to be an annual thing. I'm pretty sure.
I hope they keep that up just like that for sure.
So big news is shortly after you switched supplement companies or sponsors, however you want to put it. And it's crazy to me how big a news item that becomes when this happens with an athlete, just especially if it's a slow news week and there's really not much going on. Like the Arnold's over, there's nothing to talk about. So it was a big deal for you to switch. But first of all, I don't know how much you've talked about it. We're not going to go into any detail, but Matt's your coach. He's been your coach for the whole time. I don't know why he didn't just have you with Raw Nutrition all along. I'm not a marketing genius. So, was that ever presented to you in the past?
So yeah, I was actually with Raw right when COVID started. So it was a while back. And obviously, I'm a whole different bodybuilder than what I was before, when COVID started, and I was just in an off season. No one really knew me. I did okay in the 212 show, and I was building up. So with that, we ended up parting ways at that point, just because, with that going on with COVID, plus sales weren't there at the time. It was just, I just wanted to focus on, my off season, not anything to do with that. So I had no sponsor there for a while leading up until the Chicago. So, that was a while there. So, with this, now I'm with Raw and Revive, and that just kind of, honestly, and that wasn't until after the Arnold. It was a really quick week, but I had to make a lot of decisions there. I had the hostile was it was a renegotiation period or a raise period, and he presented that. Yeah. But also it was more than that. And that's what people don't understand is I had this conversations with Fuad, and it was more of a personal conversation. It was like, hey, this isn't just about the supplement company, the sponsorship, and that's what everyone's going to look at, but this is about my life, So this is what I want to do, because I want, like I said earlier, I want to be the best bodybuilder I can be as fast as I can be. And that's because I'm 33 years old. I've only been doing this for 4 or 5 years, but I am 33, and my best years are, these next coming years. Yeah. So we were already kind of our lease is coming up here in the next month. And we were already kind of thinking, we were going to make a move somewhere and kind of level up. And then, after, sitting down after the Arnold, thinking hey, what's the best thing I can do for my career right now? Because we have to think like that as bodybuilders. There are selfish times like that. And especially what's going to put me in the best position for my family, financially, business wise, competition wise. So we decided, let's take the leap. Let's go down, be in front of Matt. I'll be training, probably training with Ian every day, training, right. With Matt overseeing things, because I've never really, and then this is kind of my fault too, but I don't like to bother Matt in the off season, because he is one of the busiest dudes I've ever met in my life. He has hundreds of clients, probably runs businesses, is a dad. So I don't even and he wants me to, but I don't bother him in the off season, because I do it my own. And so finally I'm just I need to step it up a little bit, and I need to, communicate with him and be one-on-one with him more. So, that week afterwards, I presented that idea to him while I was renegotiating, and, he was on, and they talked and then with that, it just makes sense to be, if I'm going to be down there with him, to be part of that brand as well. Because, that's where all my content's going to be at that gym, while everything, maybe associated with doing things with Chris Bumstead, doing things with the other owner, Dom. So it just all made sense, and we have some plans here for the future. I can't really go too much into it, but, especially setting up our life after bodybuilding. So I want to do some investing things, and I just need to start thinking that way. And it just all kind of blended together. It just felt right to make that move down there, to set up our, our future lives where we're going to have kids, and just be in the right spot to fulfill, our goals that we have as a couple, as our future unfolds. So that's kind of what went all into it. I'm very happy with the decision. I parted ways with the hostile on good terms with Fuad. And, like I said, you said that too, there's no competitions right now. So that's all the talk and stuff, but there is no bad blood. We're good with everybody. It's just this, this is a personal decision that I explained to him, and it involves us moving. It involves us investing in the future, and it involves, me leveling up as soon as I can.
Right on. And the weather doesn't hurt, because you grew up in Iowa. Is pretty freaking cold in the winter, isn't it?
Cold in the winter, hot in the summer. I love the weather out here, man, where I'm at right now in Denver. A little bit cold in the winter, but this, everywhere else is nice. But I'm gonna have to get used to the humidity. I'm gonna tell you that much. That's for sure.
What times of year have you been to Florida in the summertime before?
Yeah, I'm not a fan. So I'm gonna treat Florida summertime like I would here in the winter, where I just run inside and run out, or run back to the car and get home.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I hear about Kuwait. Kuwait in the summer, it's 120 to 130 degrees outside. So nobody, no, they never go outside, like ever.
You can't. That'd be miserable, especially being 280 pounds.
Yeah, they can't be without air conditioning. So yeah, talk to me a little bit about the improvements that you did make, where those 4 or 5 pounds went, and where you want to put the next, let's say 7 to 11 pounds before you compete again.
Yeah. So no, I think I continue to bring up my back really well. That, I was really happy with how my back looked. Like, that's becoming a strong point for me. I put the chest, obviously chest is a great point. Put it on the shoulders, the arms, and that was kind of the focus. And it just, now moving forward, especially standing next to those guys, and I know some of them are bigger, Samson's like 270s, Kuglow's like 270s, but I just need a little bit more leg, especially with, standing forward. I need to be, like on the sweeps, on the adductors, and just more leg size. So that's the plans moving forward, is just, obviously you all know I train very, very hard, especially legs, but that's why another reason why I want to go down there around that is just learning different techniques. Maybe it's just always balls to the wall, destroying myself, that obviously does take place, but doing different sequences, doing different tempos, doing different exercise selection. So that's going to level me up, and a big focus will be, bringing up the legs, as well. Just, it's going to be just getting in more condition next time as well, I think.
Yeah. Do you think you'll be training with Ian when you're down there most of the time?
Yeah, no, I plan on it. I assume so. Whenever I go down there, I was just down there last week with the announcement and everything, and we trained every day. So I think it'll be a really good, we train very similar, obviously, like very, very similar, and they're very good sessions. So I assume we'll be taking off together, and I know he's starting prep and stuff. So it'll be good to get down there and kind of push him for his prep. Yeah. And then, then we'll see what happens after that.
Cool. So when are you moving?
Here in probably about 6 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So just got to finalize some stuff we're actually going to purchase a home down there right away.
Nice.
So we're going through that process right now. You know how that is.
Yeah. Well, it's been a while, but yeah, I remember. So this leads us into what the timeline might be. Do you know when you want to compete again, or do you have other things you want to make sure of first with settling in and getting businesses going, or what is your plan moving forward?
Yeah. So that's why nothing, I'm not looking at anything immediately right now. I'm actually right now I'm doing like a health phase. I've came off of everything, making sure all the internal blood work is good. And, that's something that's Matt's really good at as well. So we're just taking a little, I want to say break. I'm still riding this rebound, just not on, the PED side of things. Yeah. And it's just, a lot of food and a lot of hard training right now. But I'm going to ride that all the way through until we get down there. And then I think, right when we get down there settled is when I'm gonna start pushing. I'm sitting waking up 265 right now, and that's not even trying. So I think it's gonna be really good when I get down there, start pushing hard, start eating hard. And then honestly, I really want to do something at the end of the year. I just want to, like I said, I'm kind of chomping at the bit to get back up there and show, what I can actually do. But that would be based off my progress those few months right away, and how we're sitting, and then honestly just having Matt to make the call as well. But I think I'm gonna shoot for something at the end of the year, just because then you got that break over the winter, over Christmas and stuff. So I can only get up to 280 for so long, so you want to push up and then come back down, push up and come back down. So we'll see how, like I said, we'll see how things transpire down there.
So the end of the year, that's when the Olympia is happening. Do you have your heart set on being on that Olympia stage this year, or is that not a priority?
It matters on, do you know when the cutoff is? Because it's
usually 2 weeks before, I think.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Cause I don't remember, because it was always weird because it was in September. So August was the last show. So if I can get in a November show or something, and those still qualify for this year,
they'll let you, they publicize this is the final qualifying show, or, because sometimes the shows end, if they're too close to the Olympia, they qualify for the following year.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So if that happens, then that happens. Like I said, I'm not so set on I have to be at this year's Olympia. I'm so set on I'm making the improvements that I can be on the Olympia for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're very methodical. I like the way you plot this all out, and you're realistic, because a lot of these guys, they're younger than you. They're way younger. They're 33, man, that's pretty old. But no, this is your prime years, or the next 5 to 8 years. Yeah, you're going to be phenomenal.
That also goes into why, you started that out with, you haven't seen many people put on 50 pounds of stage weight, 55, whatever, in 4 years. It's because I've kind of set up my career that way. Like, you know, I always want to make sure I'm making improvements. So every time I step on stage, you see something new with improvements and progress. And that's, you know, I'm going to continue to do so. But like I said, probably not this year, but next year, I really want to do a run. I just want to do a spree of like 3-4 shows just for a little bit more experience. Cause honestly, man, I think in my career, I think I've done like 7 shows, you know, which is crazy, but you know, I went pro within a year and then I did like 212. I've done 2 open. And you know, that's not many. So I want to get more.
You've competed in 7 total shows ever. I think 7 or 8. Yeah.
7. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, that puts things into a different perspective. That's insane, man. Well, you know,
so I do need to do a spree one of these times, and I'm gonna set that up for next year.
I mean, I don't know why more guys don't do that, because you're training and dieting for so long for that one show. If there's another show and another show like week, the way they are at some points in the year, why wouldn't you just, you know, unless you got to go like all the way around the world or something, if it's crazy impractical, why wouldn't you do that? Because you're already in shape. Why not?
No. So I want to, and I haven't done that yet. You know, like I said, I'm getting tortured by you for not doing this. So I want to. Well, I just want to make sure I'm, you know, absolutely competitive in all of them. So that's what that'll be the next plan.
Fair enough. Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Brett. Follow him on Instagram is it Brett_Wilkin?
You got it. Wow. First try.
I remember things every once in a great while. So follow him. And guys, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, comment, do all that good stuff. The subscription bell. We appreciate you guys watching. This has been the Ronline Report with Brett the Butcher Wilkin. We'll see you next time.